Yes, hello and welcome back to Club Prairie Fire, the home of tequila, tabasco, and the Duckworth-Lewis system. The World Cup is just 4 weeks away now. We're enjoying this countdown, and there is cricket taking place all over the world. Australia have put South Africa to the sword 3-zip. New Zealand and England have tied their series 2-2. India got it done against Nepal, and Sri Lanka scraped home against Afghanistan. Lots to chat about, lots and lots of cricket, so much leather, so much willow, and two men that love nothing more than donning the cricket pajamas and sinking their teeth into some power plays. It's Adam Gilchrist, Perth, and Michael Vaughan, London.
Yeah,
am I right there?
Yeah, London today, bro. 31 degrees, hottest day of the year. Let me tell you.
I was wondering what that complexion of yours is there, Vaughan. It's you need to just get a little bit of screen on, mate.
That's just my huge shiny forehead.
Don't worry, mine's getting bigger as well. Hey, in amongst all those good results, the other thing that happened, I found myself another different brand of tequila to try, which is good, but we'll get to that right at the end of the show.
Oh, geez, you must be running out, Gilly. I'll tell you what. Hey, you know who else is back? Ollie. Producer Ollie has returned last week. He was stuck on a plane. Hello, Ollie. Welcome back. How are you, mate?
Guys, I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I'm back and very excited for a special guest.
Just before the guest starts, Ollie, just quickly, it was good to see the England under-19s win that last one day, wasn't it? To seal the series. Yeah, that was good.
I noticed, Prof. I noticed that was omitted, and yes, they did. And that on being under 19, it's schoolyard rules. Next one wins, so it's actually a 4-3 series win to England in the under 19 Ashes there. So well done, them.
So. I'm about to bring in Mitch Marsh, and Mitch, just so you know, the two English blokes on this podcast, they just find ways to make it sound like England are winning, but we all know they're a bunch of losers. Listen, let me do a little bit of an intro, and then we'll get you in. So, very special guest, current Australian captain in the T20 format and the ODI format. He's the Punisher from Perth. He's the Wunderkind from the West. He is the Bison. Please welcome Mr. Mitch Marsh.
Good intro.
We were asking some serious questions, but the most serious one that I want to ask you, Raya, you know the dating app?
I have heard of Raya, yes.
Yeah, obviously a lot of the Aussie players are married. Any of the youngsters on it? Because Ollie, our producer, is on Raya.
Yeah, no, I'm fairly certain everyone in our team is taken. So, the Raya days are done for the lads. But good luck to Ollie. Good luck, mate.
He needs it.
Thanks very much.
Hey, where were we? We were asking Mitch about his captaincy style. Is it rousing speeches? Is it little notes in people's lockers wishing them well? What sort of style are you?
Well, I sort of asked the question to a few people the other day. Do they ever remember what a captain says pre-game? Because I sometimes walk away just saying, "What the hell has just happened?" So I haven't been too big on the pre-game speeches. Sort of let the boys do their thing and have individual conversations that are required, and sort of get all our work done before the game. So I find cricket's a hard sport to, I guess, have those inspiring pump-up speeches because it's such a slow game. It's not like footy where you're going out there to cop tackles and bumps and get into blokes. It's more just stay in our lane and do our jobs and keep the boys nice and calm under pressure. So hopefully that's the case this week. Otherwise, I'll be out of a job in 10 days.
Mitch, I think you're right. I when I was captain many years ago, I used to have those little huddles, which I thought were really big at the time. I thought, that's what's making us win. Are you having the huddle as you walk out there, or are you going to just banish the huddle and kind of send the message to all his ex-captains? Actually, it's all
I must admit,
bullshit.
before you answer that, Bison, as an opponent, we just stood there and thought, what a bunch of flogs they are. But it looks so average. Like, what do you do in a huddle in front of everybody and the TV cameras that you can't do in the change rooms in the privacy of your own environment? But anyway, got the job done that year, didn't it, Vaughan?
Yeah, I pre-bowling, I will get the boys just to have a quick chat, just to reiterate a few things bowling-wise. But apart from that, not a lot. I think Paddy in Pakistan a couple of years ago, I think it was day 4, we were in Lahore, and one of Paddy's pre-game speeches was he asked us where else would we rather be, and I came out with about 15 places at the time, so it wasn't overly inspiring from Paddy. So I think, as good leaders do, you learn off your other leaders, and yeah, there's not too many pre-game speeches for me.
Now, there was a moment the other day I was watching you guys playing Durban, Mitch, and a ball got hit into the crowd. So Donovan Ferreira sang up for 6, and it was in the 15th over, and the ball, a gentleman, I don't know if you saw this, guys, a gentleman pulled out a marker and signed the ball or wrote something on the ball. And then it got thrown back. Now, great vision of you seeing that this bloke has signed the ball, and you've had a laugh, and then they've replaced it. So first question, what year was the new ball from? It wasn't 2019, was it?
No. I did pull out a brand new one, but
and then,
it didn't quite go down so well.
Do you think this is a good initiative? Do you think people in the crowd should be able to sign balls and then you could auction them off at the end of the game? Or was it just a bit annoying at the time, just a bit weird?
Yeah, a bit weird. I've never seen that before. So it was the umpires had a good chuckle and gave our bowlers a chance to have a bit of a breather. So it actually worked out pretty well.
It was very well handled, mate. I noticed you having a good laugh. Hey, another thing, we're skipping around a little bit here, but I know it's South Africa at the moment. You'll be in India before you know it, in readiness for the pre-tournament games, and you got a series against India. I noticed Virat Kohli, obviously a lot of hype around the Indian team, a home World Cup. Came out the other day that he did 17.2 in the old yo-yo beep test. They're good numbers. For those that don't know what a beep test is, Google it. You'll find out. What targets are you hitting in your beep tests, Bison?
Well, luckily we don't do them anymore. We do the 2K time trial, and the beep test is just not my event. 105 kilos, getting in and out of corners. It's that's why it's singles, 4s, or 6s for me. There's no 2s.
Yeah. With good reason.
I think I'd be pretty average at that. But at 2K, I'm not bad at. I just get up to my pace and hang on for dear life.
Do you know, Mitch? Now you're captain. Can you have a say in what you want to test the boys on going forward? Because you're the leader of the group, and surely you sit with the trainers and the scientists. And you've got to have your input. So you could kind of change the way that all this kind of knowledge is coming forward. You could get rid of the 2K. You could get rid of the bleep test. Now you're the leader.
Yeah, well, I think as T20 captain, it should probably just be how many tequilas we can get through. And that's a prerequisite for if you're going to play in my team.
Yeah. Here we go.
Very good.
So I'll try and get that one passed, but I'm not sure how that's going to go.
That's sage advice there. That's brilliant. I think that's a vision that we must get a hold of. Didn't you cancel training one day to play golf in your first 3 days as captain?
I requested a meeting to be moved a touch later, yeah, and it felt good. It felt really good.
Yes, that's the stuff you're thinking, Vaughnie, isn't it?
But you see, Mitch, I've always felt that Australian cricket would end up following English cricket eventually. And there is the first sign. Because I was going to ask Mitch, have you Aussies got over drawing an Ashes series against England's golfing team, or have you kind of moved on from that now?
Now, looking at a few of the videos that have been flying around social media, I think it's time for all of us just to move on and look forward to the next Ashes.
Yeah. And nothing will resurface then at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
I wanted to, Mitch, I don't know, did you see there was a great interview with Pat Cummins and Uzi Khawaja during the week, but with Fletch and Hindy, the two guys that do stuff out here in Australia. I used to work with them a long time ago, and they interviewed the guys. And did you see the interview, Mitch?
I saw parts of it, yeah.
So there was a couple of nice moments. There was a moment when they asked Pat about you being captain and Aussie as well, and they said, "How have you got the captaincy?" And they both said, "You've got material on it." So I'm just wondering what sort of goss you've got on those two blokes.
We can take that offline.
What I'm learning from Big Mitch already as a skipper, he's look, he's a crash banger as a player. He whacks it out the ground. He's a basketballer, but already as a skipper, he's just got the straight back coming down, isn't he?
Oh, he's dodging a lot of here.
He's getting that high elbow up, just leaving a few. I like it.
'Cause, I mean,
I saw myself pretending to spill pumpkin soup down my test whites. I wasn't even playing at the time, so I didn't even have my whites on, and I thought I looked like an idiot. So, yeah, the straight back when it comes to the Ashes talk.
I guess that's a shame, because the really good thing to come out of that interview was when, and I got to read this quote, it's when Paddy said about Piers Morgan, when it comes to cricket, you couldn't mention a more irrelevant person in the world. I thought. Now, because Borny, correct me if I'm wrong, but Piers is lined up to come on this podcast. Is that right?
Honestly, he's revved up. He's got some national television awards that he's busy with at the minute, and he's back doing his show. He's interviewing everyone, but he's revved up. He's ready to come on and unleash on you Aussies. He's ready.
Good news. I wonder if he's ever had a Prairie Fire. Yeah,
bring it on.
That'd be good.
Yeah. We'll do that thing, Ollie. You know how his microphone's louder than his guest, so that he talks over him? We'll do that on our show as well. We'll just pump mine right up.
Is that a technique he uses?
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, they pump his mic. I mean, it's the oldest trick in the book. The other nice thing, they were talking to Aussie about your clothes, Mitch. I don't know if you saw this, and they said that you wear a really tight shirt, and they're calling it a triple XL. Now, can you confirm or deny that it's a triple XL?
No, it's not a triple XL, but I can confirm that after 4 months in England, my one-day pants have moved up to a double XL, and my quads are still bursting out of them. So it's been a big couple of months, and I'm on the shred before the World Cup to get rid of these love handles.
Very, very good.
Very
good.
On the World Cup, it's going to be a huge spectacle in India. So, out of who's going to win it? India, Pakistan, or England?
Yeah, I honestly think that it'll be Australia v Pakistan in the final.
Whoa, there you go. Good call. Ooh. Good call.
You know, Mitch, Harsha Bogle.
India gone. I mean, England, obviously, social media, it's not going to be good for you there, Mitch. You're cleaning out the house.
I also got asked a couple of months ago if I could predict the scorecard for the India-Australia first World Cup match. And I said Australia 370 and India all out 65. So,
yep.
As you can imagine, my social media messages were absolutely blowing up from all of the Indian cricket fans, and I'm not sure they quite got my my sarcasm, but I've copped a bit of heat for that. So
where is that, Mitch? Where's that game taking place? Because I want to kind of in my own head work out the percentage chances of that maybe happening. Where are you playing that game?
The first game's in Chennai, so I think they just wanted to give us a wicket that wasn't going to spin in the first game.
Hey, Mitchie, obviously the squad got trimmed down to the 15 today, but you've got a few troops over there that might be a little bit disappointed. You took a younger squad with a few blokes resting. How's the mood in a group? Obviously, you're buoyant after the T20s, but that might be a little challenge for this short series to keep guys up and going.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in the next couple of weeks. We've still got guys that are under some injury clouds, and hopefully they all get up. But the next 5 games is still an opportunity for guys to, I guess, put their best foot forward to make the final squad, which has to be announced in a couple of weeks. But the group's been really good. we've got complete buy-in from everyone. I feel like whilst there is a World Cup, no one here has really got anything to prove. We want guys to come in and enjoy playing cricket for Australia. It's hard. One-day cricket's bloody hard and will be challenged at times, but the big thing for me and for Paddy especially in this group is having a real emphasis on just looking after each other. It's been a big year of cricket and we've got one more massive push towards India. So, and with the way it's going to pan out with playing 9 round games, we're going to need all 15 to win this World Cup. So we've got a great vibe and hopefully we can beat South Africa. I've got them in the semi-finals of the World Cup. I think they're an outstanding team with a really good bowling attack. So it's going to be fascinating.
Where are you going to bat in the one days, mate?
So I'm trying to work that out. Can I step in there, Gil? I'm trying to work that out. So you've got yourselves and Pakistan in the final. You've got South Africa in the semi. So who else is in the semi?
England don't get out of the pool, is what he's saying.
It's true, yeah. They haven't won any World Cups in the last couple of years, so there's no track record for that one.
Well, technically, Mitch, they've only ever tied an ODI a World Cup, so they've never technically won one. If we are
straight bat,
arguing semantics,
well, play straight back to this one. Where are you going to bat in the 50 over stuff, mate?
I think I'll start at 3 for this series, and then who knows?
Yeah,
we've got Steve Smith that'll come back in, and he's a pretty handy number 3. So wherever I bat, I'll be slogging. So it'll be a bit of fun.
I'll bring Travis said opening the batting in T20 cricket was I like watching Travis bat, but you do know what happened with Travis in the summer with us on this podcast, don't you?
No.
So Travis, we're developing a tequila brand called El Shito.
Nice.
And we were looking for an ambassador to be at the front and centre of the brand. Obviously, Big Merv got a mention because of his tash, but we thought, unfortunately for Merv, he's a bit long in the tooth. Trav was growing the tash. I went to talk about this El Shito brand to him at Edgbaston, day 3. We got him on voice memo saying, absolutely delighted, excited to be even mentioned to be the ambassador of El Shito. We did a contract there and we got it signed. He then had the tash taken off. He's gone. We got rid of him. We can't have him as an ambassador for El Shito. So what I'm saying to you, Big Mitch, is what are you like at growing a tash? Because obviously there's a big contract there for someone that's willing to grow the tash and be on the front of El Shito.
I'm willing to give it a crack. Sometimes in life you can't turn these opportunities down. So I'll chat to the wife, and she'll be good. She understands these opportunities and how big it is. So look, I think there's room for the stash.
Because is your wife going out to India for the World Cup, or are you going to be a lone ranger? Because it's a good time to really grow the tash if you are. Because throughout the World Cup, we could have Mitch tash watch.
No, she'll be fine with that. She's coming over for a couple of weeks. But yeah, once I explain her and show her the numbers of this contract, it's a no-brainer.
Oh, they're big. They're big. They are big.
And Gilly, just remind me, what are the hints in El Shito? What are we tasting? What's the floral bouquet? What is it again?
I don't think we've come up with the appropriate description of it just yet, without wanting to.
Right, I thought it tasted and smelled like shit. I thought that was the idea.
It tastes like it smells, so that's, I think, the best description of it. But we'll work on that. If Greta's going to be in this decision-making process, I think best we don't send her a sample of El Shito. I think we should let her go into it a little bit more uneducated. Might be better.
Yep, perfect.
Now, Mitch, to change tacks just quickly, did you guys get around and watch the Big Bash draft the other day when it happened?
We were on the way to the game, so the boys had it live on the bus, and we were sort of in and out. But it went pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. Rashid Khan went number 1. The Stars selected him, but then the striker stepped in and said, "No, he's ours. Sorry." And Dizzy said he wouldn't be allowed back in Adelaide. Then you had 3 Englishmen in the top 5, Brooke, Curran and Hales. I thought what was very interesting was when it came to the 8th selection, which was also a platinum selection, which went to the Scorchers, you guys just said pass. You said, we're sweet for players, thanks. We're awesome as it is.
Yeah, it's I guess it's a bit of an anticlimax, but we're very, very, very lucky that we got a lot of local players on our list, and I suppose they're probably saving a bit of money as well.
Yeah, don't
Tight
need them
over there.
Oh no, not tight. They're trying to fit in all the big names like you and all the others, but with good reason. Homegrown.
We got Zach Crawley.
Yeah.
Me and Zach opening the batting.
Yeah, just on Zach Crawley, how big an influence was his handicap of scratch when Perth picked Zach Crawley? Did that come into it?
That's all it was based on. I need a good partner, and he was straight in.
I tell you what was funny that morning, the next day, and Mitch, you wouldn't have seen it being away, but the next day, through the whole Ashes, the local newspaper here was just caning England. Every one of them, every quote, every misfortune, whatever it was, belted. And then after the day after the draft, the headline said, "Our favourite Pommy coming to Perth," and it's a big picture of Zach. They're very quick to embrace him. They've turned it around, but he will be exciting to watch.
West Australian.
Yeah, for sure.
I tell you, that is a big opening pairing. I mean, but what are you? How tall are you, Mitch? What are you?
6'4",
6'2" or something.
I'm 6'4", but 6'7" after a couple of tequilas.
Yeah.
There you go. And what's Zach? Zach's about 6'9", isn't he, Vaughan? How big's Zach Crawley?
Big boy.
Oh, Zach's a big dude. He's a big boy, big feet. Yeah, he can play. Good signing. He's just trying to get into the white ball stuff, really. He's had obviously a go with Kent, played a bit of 100 stuff, but it'll be a revelation on those wickets. Bit of bounce, he can climb into it.
Good pick.
Very, very good. I guess has anybody else got anything else for Mitch?
Ollie's keen.
Ollie, you've got a little something for Mitch?
This
isn't something to do with picking up single women, is it, Ollie? Because that's not appropriate.
No, again, that's afterwards. No, we've had something on social come in at Club Prairie Fire. We've had a message from Kate who says, "Love the podcast. Just want to know, is Piers Morgan definitely coming on?" And the follow-up, I said, we're trying, but we've got the Bison this week. And she's replied straight back and said, "He was once described himself as the most hated man in Australia. Piers is often the most hated man in England. What advice do you have to get back everyone on side?" And that's from Kate_L24. So how did you rebrand is essentially the question, just for when Piers comes on.
Yeah, well, what I've noticed about Pierce is he actually just doubles down and goes even harder. Him a lot for that. Mine, look, it's a good question. Slogging. They seem to like that.
Yeah, well, I'll jump in and offer an answer there. My perception on the back of some 5-wicket hauls and then peeling off a couple of outstanding hundreds and doing what did in the Big Bash and stuff. But there was a certain bit of footage in the Lord's change room in the documentary that I reckon opened a whole new side of Mitch Marsh that no one other than your close friends and teammates had seen. And Jesus, it just popped up again not long ago on social media doing the rounds. But it was an epic drum solo, guitar solo. Then you started spinning the tabletop, and that was brilliant. All behind the back of JL.
Yeah, it was a complete boredom in the change rooms, and then I think in the video you see me sort of give it that one when JL walks in, and that was not pre-planned. That just happened, and then I started playing cricket strokes behind JL's back. Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
Very good. All right, hey Mitch. Do we want to let him go, boys? You've probably got to give a rousing speech to the troops.
Probably.
And inspire them.
I'm actually currently 5 minutes late for the spinners meeting before tomorrow's game. So just really stamping my authority on these boys.
That's excellent.
Cool. Boys, how good is Mitch? One of the greats. Really good to see him get the opportunity.
Self-confessed, he said he was gone from being the most disliked cricketer in Australia to now, he's got to be the most popular. I don't think he's saying he's the most popular, but it's a good comeback. He's such a likeable fella.
Yeah,
And Vaughan, you got to admit.
Yeah, what I like about this podcast is that what we're doing is we're only having people on that really would get into the baseball team. So we had T Head, obviously we binned him off because he cut off his tash, but obviously Mitch Marsh would be the one Aussie that would be a baseballer.
Yeah,
great to have him on. Legend.
And thoroughly enjoys a Prairie Fire, as he said. So it's what we want.
Yeah, join the club. Join the club now, Gilly. I can't help but notice you're representing a certain team in your shirt there. Every time you lean back, mate, are they paying you for this advertisement? Carlton Football Club, what's going on?
As you know, it's been a fair while. The most successful club in the competition, in the history of the competition. But it's been 10 years since we've been in finals, so we're cashing in, mate. No doubt about that. But we're much following Vaughnie over in your part of the world where the AFL. I know you're a Crows man. You'd be still be a bit salty about the way they got booted out when wrongly credited with a point rather than a goal. But much attention on the AFL there?
No, just a couple of questions first, Gilly. The pro did ask, are you being paid to wear that T-shirt? Can you answer the question?
No, I'm not. I'm
a
paying member.
Let's move on. The next question is finals, yeah? These finals, you say finals.
Yeah.
You know, is it what? Does it go forever, the finals? Or, you know, in England, we basically have a final. You get to the final.
No, we have about 4 weeks. 4 weeks of finals. Culminates in the big grand final at the MCG.
So it's not really the finals, is it? It's like just a run into a final.
Well, Vaughan, that's why we call it
there's an
semi-finals and the qualifying finals.
All right, so
and then the grand final.
You have quarterfinals, semi-finals, and a final.
Hey, it's the same as the FA Cup.
Right, so
similar.
Can we talk about AFL when it actually gets to the final? So I don't give a shit about the quarters.
Well, I'll have this shirt on still then.
Who cares?
In a month's time.
You fancy them here? They're going to win it.
Maybe. Maybe. Well, it's been.
Where did they finish, Gilly? In the 8. Where did they finish up?
At the time of recording this, we've got in a couple of days' time take on the Sydney Swans, who they do know how to play finals and grand finals. But it's been a long wait, so we'll enjoy it while we're there.
Very, very good. Now, while we're on, branching out to other sports, did you see the big news during the week, gentlemen, that cricket may well become an Olympic sport in 2028?
Yep.
I mean, this is big.
28.
Los Angeles.
Well, that's
might stretch the Hemis for that one. And then
maybe that's something to do with the T10 Masters is in America. You know, the legendary players playing in America. There's something happening in America. It's close to Mexico. Something's going on here, guys. We've got to be all over this.
Well, Vaughnie, I don't know if it's very big in the UK, but there's a show out here called Bluey. And it's a kids show, and it's enormous. And there's an episode of Bluey. Gilly, your kids are probably too old for it, but mine are right in the hitting zone. And it's called Cricket. And it explains the rules of cricket. And they launched it in America to coincide with the Masters League to explain to America how to play cricket. It's an amazing episode. If you get the chance, Gilly, I know it's probably a bit weird for you to sit down with your 17-year-old son and watch it, but if you get the chance, it is.
It tugs on the heartstrings, that episode, doesn't it? It covers all bases about sportsmanship and fellowship. I'm surprised with the word fellowship. Prairie Fire didn't turn up, but I don't think Bluey's a consumer. But you never know. But no, it talks about all the finer attributes of the spirit of cricket and so on. So they did well, and of course, 2032, the Olympics are here again in Australia at Brisbane. So they're talking about the Gabba could host the final and then flip it around into an athletics track. But I sort of offer for you to just take a step back in time. 2010, the MCC Spirit of Cricket lecture, the Colin Cowdrey lecture. Just go back and have a read of that. It's probably put you to sleep, but you'll see that one Gilchrist, and in that, this is 2010, I said, if cricket wants to get moving to become a truly global sport embraced by all nations, not just 8 or 9 or 10, genuine nations, get into the Olympics. You've got T20 now, get into the Olympics. And, mate, I got laughed out of the long room. And here we are, just, 12, 13 years later, and we almost have it confirmed. But T20 cricket, it was always going to be the perfect custom-made package for a 16, 18-day tournament. Shortest version of the game, promote it to the world, get them on board, throw a bit of bluey in there, a couple of P5s, and away we go.
Yeah. Well, just to be fair, the only blueys really that we know in the UK is what probably Ollie takes after meeting someone from Raya.
The big blue.
No.
Actually,
the big blue.
Now that you've brought Ollie, but we need to investigate a bit more, Ollie, of your antics. And in France, I saw on your socials, mate, a certain marathon, which looks like a hell of a good time.
Yeah, that's right. I'm in Medoc, the wine region currently, and did the 26 miles, and every chateau you stop every mile and have a glass of wine. So you end up having 3 bottles, full fancy dress. 10,000 people do it. It was 6 hours 53 was my time, with an hour 30 of stops. And mid-run, this is actually big. Mid-run, I did get a Raya like Monique, the first probably ever. So
can you just move it a bit further in so I can have a look at Monique, please? Can you just?
Yeah, and you might need to describe.
That's
for
right. What are we
looking
at?
Yeah, of course. So Monique is there.
Nice
She's a
eyes,
talent agent. Lovely eyes. She's blonde. She wears red lipstick. She's bad at this app, but she's a talent agent for influencers. So that's the pedigree that we're working with.
Well, that talent agent. So why don't you try and get? Because I'm obviously an influencer as well now. I'm prominent influencer.
Yeah,
why don't you get Monique to run my account?
Well, I'm going to ask her to run Club Prairie Fire.
Yeah,
I think it's the way to go.
Is she English?
Hey,
English, or have you found
French?
French. Very well.
Just clarify. Did you find her on Raya, or was she running the marathon?
Well, on Raya, I was mid-marathon when she sent a like to me.
Mid-marathon? You just thought you'd check your account.
For the last.
Yeah.
Hey, Vaughan, can you ask Ollie the same question you asked us last week on the podcast about Ollie?
What was that? How the fuck did he get on Raya?
You asked, how the fuck is Ollie on Raya?
Given it so exclusive to get into.
And two questions to you, Ollie. How did you get on Raya? Who? Because you have to be proposed, I believe. So someone's obviously recommended you as a good guy. And how the hell did you get that Monique? He looks an absolute ripper.
Both very good questions. The truth is, a good friend of mine is a videographer for a very famous music artist, and I got the referral. And it took them 4 years to accept my. I never got accepted in England because there's too many famous people. But when I moved to Australia, they accepted my application. So there
Raya
you go.
drops its standards in Australia. Sorry, buddy.
What you're saying, really?
Yes.
The Raya quality in Oz is absolute dog shit compared to
no.
Is that right?
That's not what it is.
That's Raya's word, not mine.
No, because in Australia we do this weird thing in Australia where we meet people in person. I don't know if you guys in the UK have heard of that. Because we have a thing here called the outdoors. Have you guys heard of that?
And you go to the pub and then
we don't do that.
Maybe have dinner.
Yeah.
Ollie, one more big question for you on the marathon. So you were 6 hours 53? Is that right?
With an hour and 22 minutes stopping. Yeah.
Right. What? Out of interest, what won it?
The winner controversially didn't stop, and they did it in 2 hours and 18 minutes. Fourth year in a row he's won it.
Where was that?
Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Surely they take your blood. Do they not take your blood alcohol limit into account? Is there not a mathematical equation?
it should be divided by how many glasses you have.
Sure.
That we did say that. But an band follow you the whole way around on a little car, and if you drop behind them, you get kicked out the race, and they've got brooms.
Looked like a hell of a party. Yeah, it looked like a good time.
Broom.
Yeah.
They kick you out.
Yeah.
Hey, I reckon, boys, next year,
Yeah.
as this thing grows, we don the Club Prairie Fire shirt.
Absolutely. We could run around in a tabasco sauce sort of bottle makeup. They're pretty good. I've got one of those actually.
Ollie, just so how many vineyards did you visit? Did you say
26, one every single mile.
26. So what? I'm interested. How do you start on rosé or white, red, or how does it go? What?
Oh, you only get red, and then every 5th mile is a different food. So the first one is oysters that you wake up with. The second one is the cheeses of the region, and then the fruits, and then you get steak to finish.
A bit of steak. It'd be really well done steak too, wouldn't it?
Are you finishing? Are you finishing with a dessert wine or something like a port?
A little sticky. You reckon at the end? Oh god!
Local cheeses, and they give you little crackers, and you just make them.
I'm intrigued by this marathon.
Yeah.
I like it. Anyone like having a word with buckets or toilet seats midway or during?
They did actually say there's a lot of that, and everyone you just see appearing from behind the vineyards, and they always warn that batch could be a different taste of the grapes. So they do warn that, there's a fair bit going on.
Well, that's something to put on the radar for Club Prairie Fire, I reckon. Murdoch. Very good.
Very, very good.
Absolutely.
Now, hey, gents, let's move from there. Let's just do the quiz. Let's get into it here, boys. Let's finish up this little afternoon that we've had. Now, I'm going to hand it over to you here, Ollie. What have you organised for the boys this afternoon?
Well, I've got a quiz. Given, Australia in South Africa and England playing New Zealand, it's the boys' records against those nations. So we're going to find out who does. So Gilly against South Africa in tests and Vaughan against New Zealand. But just before we get on to that, I'm just doing a little bit of picking up of admin. The Olympics was mentioned. And I don't know if I have to remind you all, but last time was the 1900 Summer Olympics. Great Britain won it against the French Athletic Club Union, and all 11 of their players were British in 1900.
Yeah.
So
wait a second. I thought you said to me today. You said to me,
we're the Olympic champions, Ollie, are we?
Yeah, 1900. That was the last time. The other one doesn't
Ollie,
count.
you said to me today that the French had won the gold in 1900. Why have you changed the story on the podcast?
Because Wikipedia has told me. But there was confusion because the whole French team were British. There were meant to be 2 other teams, Belgium and Netherlands, but they withdrew the day before.
The Dutch.
So there were just 2 teams, and it was a one-off game. And the English team were called the Devon and Somerset Wanderers, and they won by 158 runs. And there's just one scorecard. The French were bowled out.
I think what's really important, you have a flag bearer, don't you? For each team. Surely we can start this. Do you know what I mean? 28.
I've got an idea as well. Like Johnny Bairstow could go in the long jump. Oh, that doesn't work actually.
Go on, please tell me the joke. Go on, go with it.
No, that doesn't. I'm trying to work out what's a sport where you need to put your foot over the line.
He could go in the walk. He drifted out of his crease. But now that
the walk, there you go.
France, wasn't it? That Olympics. Is that right, Ollie?
Yeah. Yes, it was. It was correct. Velodrome de Vincennes was there, and also Gilly. The other thing you mentioned was the Cowdrey Lecture, and your name is here in lights. 2009, you gave it, and it lists everyone's topics. The year before you, Desmond Tutu, who spoke about racism, sports apartheid, and the impact of politics. Imran Khan, the year after you, his struggles to introduce neutral umpires in cricket. Yours, empty. No words, what you did. But that's the reputation of the Cowdrey Lecture.
They tried to cancel me. They tried to cancel me, and here we are, 14 years later, and they're coming up with these bright ideas to get cricket in the Olympics. Jesus, come on.
Hey, Ollie, was that lecture called The Spirit of Cricket?
No, the Cowdrey Lecture. Yeah, the MCC Spirit of Cricket Cowdrey Lecture.
Where, I'll tell you what it was.
Following
the one
Tutu.
Where a few years later, Baz McCullum did it and apologised for running out Murali, and then admonished the Australians year for doing the same thing. Right. So there you go.
So you're saying that might do it, in a couple of years' time?
Who might? Kez, did you say?
P. Cummins?
Yeah, who knows? Whatever the case, the Cowdrey lecture, rubbish.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I'm going to fill in, do the trivia.
Righto.
Yeah, let's do the trivia.
And just a reminder, who won last week?
Okay.
And the week before?
It was a tie, and then I tried to continue with a tiebreaker, and Gilly, you said, nah, forget about it, I'm thirsty. You wanted to get to the Prairie Fire quicker?
Sorry.
Good pub quizzes.
Yes, absolutely. On you go, Ollie.
Okay, so we are looking at your respective games against them. So we'll start with, and you just say your own name or the other if you think it's you. So who played more tests? Was it Vaughan against New Zealand or Gilly against South Africa? So we'll come to you first, Vaughan, for that. Who would have played more tests? You can copy each other's answers. That's fine. It's a proper scoring system here.
I reckon I might have done.
Okay, Vaughan saying himself. Gilly?
I did shit.
I'm going to go with Vaughan played more against New Zealand than what I did South Africa.
Yeah. No points for either. Vaughan played 11. Gilly played 12. And you both had 19. You both had 19 innings. And Vaughan, you saying you did shit might answer the next few questions of your records, but let's go ahead anyway. In those 19 innings,
I'll be your point scorer here, Ollie. We'll keep it fair this week because I stuffed it up last week. 0-0.
0-0. Okay, who scored the most runs in those 19 innings? Vaughan, you against New Zealand?
Yeah,
Gilly.
I'll go self-indulgently with myself on that one.
You did. You got 754, which was 116 more than Vaughan's 538. Yeah.
Yeah, they were my nemesis. T South.
Yeah.
An average of 28.
I couldn't play the present day skipper back in the day.
Well, Jesus.
It makes me feel really old. Tim Southey's now the Kiwi T20 captain. He used to fucking get me out all the time. How old is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's too old.
That's a good effort.
So your last game against him was 15 years ago, so it's 1-1 in the scoring, please, Prof.
What?
And Vaughan, yes, your average.
What were their averages? What was the average?
28.3 for Vaughan, 47 for Gilly.
Oh, geez, Gilly. Good against the South Africans.
Good against the South Africans. In the 19 innings, who had the most ducks against the opposition? We like ducks in these quizzes.
I had at least one I can think of. I'm going to go Vaughan.
I reckon Gilly. I'm going Gilly.
I'm going Vaughan.
Vaughan opened up with one in his first in Christchurch, but then got no more. Gilly got 2, his last ever innings. Joe Berg, 2 to Gilly.
Did I get a globe in the last
2-1.
one? Jesus.
Yep, 12-0.
That's when I went back to the. Actually, now so that was Langer's 100th test when he got cleaned up. I went back into the change room. I pulled out a notepad and wrote some notes about how angry I was. And the last line was, "I fucking hate this game." So I was going well. I was, mentally a pretty happy place. And that was a guy.
Had someone advised you to start writing down your thoughts?
No, I needed it as therapy after Vaughan and Freddie got a hold of me in 2005. So I needed some sort of way. That was the next tour after that, and I was cooked.
You should have released that as a tour diary, Gilly. You could have sold it.
Yeah.
That would have made good reading.
So 2-1 to Vaughan. Going to question number 4. In those 19 innings, who faced the most balls? Vaughan or Gilly?
What did you say Vaughan scored? 500 and something?
538 against 754.
I'm going Gilly. No, sorry. I'm going myself. I got I got 100 at Lords, and it took me forever. It was the worst. I think it was my last test
And
100, and it was
I got
shocking.
200, and it took me no time.
It was a dreadful inning. Yeah. Oh, I remember it. I was plinking Southie. Oh,
Well, at least you were surviving, Southie.
How many?
Oh no! But
How many balls are we talking, Vaughnie? Can we look that up?
I reckon I might have got. I got out just after 100. There must have been over 200 balls faced. It was a shocker. I couldn't hit it.
214 balls for 5 hours and 6 minutes at the crease.
It was time to go. It was around the time that I was going. I might have got 3 figures at the home of cricket, but Jesus.
Oh, was that near the end?
I was blaming.
Was that near the end?
I reckon that was my last test century. I was playing. It was shocking.
That's a bad feeling.
Yeah, do you know when you're in the dressing room and I was going around all the other players' bats, going, "Is it my bats? What is this?"
Absolutely. I'm going to say that Vaughnie faced.
Vaughnie, are you changing to you now?
Yeah, it's me.
Facing the most? Yeah, correct. It is you. You faced 1,161, 871 for Gilly. Yes, it's 3-2 to Vaughnie. Question number 5, the final one in the quiz, unless Gilly wins, of course, and then we have the tiebreaker. Okay, so Gilly, you had 12 tests against South Africa. Vaughnie, 11 against New Zealand. Who lost more? In those tests, who lost more? Australia against Sessions or England against New Zealand?
Gilly.
Hey, let me think about this. No. Vaughnie.
Oh, did you not lose a game?
It's Vaughnie. Vaughnie lost 2 of 11. Gilly just 1.
Oh,
yeah.
Just
one.
We lose
12 back then.
Where did we lose? I played back in the day. Nas was captain. We got beat. Yeah, you're right.
Bloody NASA. Which one did we lose?
You lost. You lost one of them. I'm deep in the Olympics, but you definitely lost one of them.
You lost in Durban. Lost by 5 wickets.
All right.
15 in 02. 15th of March. The Ides of March.
Did we? Third test. Right. Yeah.
There you go. But that means we have a tiebreaker. Which is you both had the same number of, Vaughnie catches and Gilly stumpings. It was the same number. What was that number? Nearest wins in those test matches.
Yes. Where were you fielding, Vaughnie?
Out the way.
Mid off?
Out the way.
Out the
way. I reckon I would. Vaughnie would have been playing, would he?
Yeah.
Daryl Cunningham would have been batting, so that's at least 2 stumps.
No.
I would say you have more stumpings than me, having catches.
How many nearest one wins? It's the same number.
So it's the same amount.
So it's the same number. So I'm going to go with 5.
Yeah, 4.
Adam Gilchrist, bang on 5. Absolutely right. 5 stumpings, 5 catches.
Sweet.
That is a good effort.
Another win.
Ding.
Goodness. That is a good effort.
Very good. Congratulations, Gilly.
Proper guess.
Winner again.
Proper guess.
Very good. Now, all that's left, boys, to do is our toast. If you do have your...
And while we get our concoctions, I'll throw it over to someone else to suggest who we're toasting and what we're toasting to.
Well, firstly, it's not the main toast. It's Uganda. Since we last spoke, they went 8 from 8 to win the East Africa Cup against Rwanda and Tanzania. It was very impressive, 11-12. So they fantastic performance since we last spoke. And I'm going to cheers to Uganda.
Oh, well, it's good enough. Any other offerings?
No.
Quinton de Kock, he's retiring. Did I steal yours, Vaughnie?
No. You go with the de Kock. I like that.
De Kock is retiring after the Cricket World Cup, so to Quinton.
De Kock.
And, of course, Heath Streak as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually, it's a good point. After the initial scare and the mix-up, Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Here's the streaky. One of the good guys.
Yeah, good man.
Cheers.
I'm on El Barocco today.
El Barocco. Were you out with Tuffers again last night?
I'm actually on my way to do a chat, so I can't really be quite an important chat, should I say. I'll let you know next week.
All right.
Oh.
Go well with that then, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, good tease.
Yes.
Oh, the Cowdrey lecture. Good luck.
Oh, fuck.
Good luck.
What's the word about it?
Mention the Olympics. See if they came now.